Thank you, Rebecca, and thank you everyone for being here today. It's a very, very exciting day to be opening up this exhibition with a virtual event. And it was also a very exciting day today because we actually had people physically in the museum to see the art. It's been a long time since we've been able to have crowds come through. So welcome to our event today. And for those of you who may have stopped by the museum today, welcome for that too. We are celebrating the opening of 3 new exhibitions at Visions Art Museum: Deeds Not Words, curated by Sandra and Pamela Weeks; Urban Voyeur by Jill Kerttula; and Threaded Canopy by Hillary Waters Fayle. Many of these artists will be sharing about their work on Zoom in the next few weeks with Visions Art Museum programs. Please check out the Education and Events tab on our website to learn more about these events. And as we're going to be hearing from our artists in the next couple of weeks, I'm just going to ask them to introduce themselves in the chat today and maybe give us a little wave. But today we're not going to have any formal program to hear from any of the artists. I want to give a special shout out to 3 programs that are coming up. We're partnering with the Women's Museum of California here in San Diego for a series with Professor Sue Gonda. Sue is a professor of women's history, and she'll be talking about women's suffrage in the context of Deeds Not Words, and also speaking to a few of the artists about their inspirations for portraying the personalities and the themes of women's suffrage using the artistic methods that they did. So I think that that's going to be a great conversation as well, and we hope that you can join us. Today, as I was saying, is a real milestone because we were open to the public. We're in orange tier right now, which means we're still on some limited capacity, but we were open. And a year ago this weekend, our big accomplishment was that we got all of the images of the art for those 3 exhibitions up online in time for just to be viewed on the day of what was supposed to be the in-person opening. And of course, we couldn't have it because COVID had shut us down a month before. That was a brand new world for me and Vanessa and Rebecca. And now a year later, it's old hat rather than the new thing. It's a little bit of a whiplash for me to think how far we've come in a year with all of the digital offerings that we've had. And I just want to thank you all for being on this journey with us as we have expanded into this wonderful world of Zoom, where people from all around the country and all around the world have been able to join us for our programs. We are so glad that you're here, and we're so glad that we've added this platform for education and events, and it will not be going away. So look for more coming up this next year. So thank you so much to all of you for helping make Visions a real success in the year of the pandemic. We're really grateful for your participation. And also, I would be really remiss at this point if I didn't say a special thank you to my colleagues, to Rebecca Deep here and to Vanessa Segura, who have just been amazing this last year. And yes, that's right. Happy hands, Sandra, for the team. I keep saying this over and over again because it's true. It takes a village, and Visions Art Museum has a good one. And I'm just really grateful. So thank you so much for all of that. We have a really wonderful treat in store for all of you today in the form of Ramida Nivasnanda. Ramida is a senior at Sage Creek High School in Carlsbad, California, just a little bit north of the museum. She is the principal cellist with the Civic Youth Orchestra and actually comes to us direct from a performance of that organization. She began her musical career with the piano at age 5, and then she pivoted to cello at age 12. And you will join me in being thrilled that she did that once you hear her. Glad you moved on to cello, Ramida. You're wonderful. And in the fall, she is off to the School of Music at DePaul University in Chicago to study cello performance. So we wish you well on that journey, Ramida, and we thank you that you're here with us today. For those of us who were here in January, we're going to do something very much like we did then with Fred Benedetti, where Ramida has pre-selected some works of art that inspired her, and she's paired them with pieces of music. That's just wonderful. Rebecca will be doing more of the introduction because we've got the microphone right on the cello, and it's a little bit hard to hear Ramida. After we've seen those particular pieces that she selected, then she's going to play background for us for another 10, 11 minutes or so while we see a slideshow of all of the art in the exhibition. And then after that, we're going to run the video tour of the exhibition that Rebecca has wonderfully prepared. So if you do live outside of San Diego and you're not going to be able to come to the museum in person, you can stay on for that video tour and catch it virtually. And then hopefully we'll see many of you at the museum soon. We're still on reduced hours, Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 2. You can check the Plan Your Visit tab on the website to see what the calendar is and see if there are any changes. I think we're going to be gradually expanding that, but I don't know how soon we're going to be expanding that. So for now, Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 2. Looking forward to seeing you in person at Liberty Station at Visions Art Museum. So without further ado, I will turn this back to Rebecca and to Ramida, and enjoy.
So welcome everyone. So Ramida will start off with a couple of works from the exhibition Deeds Not Words, celebrating 100 years of women's suffrage. The exhibition of 28 quilts by 29 artists was co-curated by Sandra and Pamela Weeks. It celebrates the centennial of the passage of the 19th Amendment, which extended to women the right to vote. The journey was long and difficult, involving the participation of women and men across the country and deeply entwined with other issues such as abolition and civil rights. The exhibition features works surveying the fight as a whole, celebrating well-known artists, and shining a light on lesser-known participants. Ramida would like to start with a response to the Pixeladies piece on, I actually failed to write out I only wrote myself a note and didn't write the entire title. I have to get those while she's playing their piece on McCormick. And she will be playing Handel's Largo. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Ramida's next piece will be, she will respond to, I should have written myself much longer notes. Curran's piece, Honor Her, and Ramida will play Schubert's Serenade. I think at least I can clap for on behalf of everyone. So those beautifully matched pieces to the works from Deeds Not Words, and we'll have an opportunity to see the entirety of the show in just a little while. Ramida will now play a couple of pieces responding to Jill Kerttula's solo exhibition, Urban Voyeur. Jill Kerttula's exhibition of 14 quilts meld her original street photography with the fiber art world as she stitches, layers, patches, and slashes her images in order to manipulate the static image to how she as an artist interprets the moment. Her works encourage the viewer to see themselves in these moments and to approach each moment with a renewed sense of observation. And Ramida will start with the piece Night Umbrella to my best try at French, Après un rêve. And if anyone is perhaps wondering about the background accompaniment, that is Ramida has recorded her own piano accompaniment. So we are enjoying her on two different instruments right now. Her next piece will be, she will play to Union Station 2, also by Jill Kerttula. The musical piece will be Salut d'amour. on behalf of everyone. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for that. The final piece that Ramida has chosen is from the Threaded Canopy exhibition by Hillary Waters Fayle. Hillary Waters Fayle's solo exhibition explores nature and ourselves. The artist capitalizes on the patterns and shapes in the botanical world and uses them to communicate the union of humanity and the physical world and the limitations of the infinite universe. She has selected Geometric Perceptions. It is a series of 10 pieces that she will play Bach's G major prelude. Beautiful, beautiful. So with that, we will move on to a slideshow where we run through all of the works in all three exhibitions, and we will be able to enjoy more of Ramida's beautiful cello music. And after that, that will be the end of the cello portion. So perhaps after that slideshow portion, if anyone wants to unmute themselves to give Ramida a round of applause after we finish with the slideshow, please do so. So I will go ahead and get that slideshow running. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ramida, for being here with us and for sharing your beautiful gift with all of us. And the applause, I know that we can't, unfortunately, in our virtual, in our living rooms, give you the round of applause that I wish that you could hear from coming from all of our living rooms and dining rooms. Thank you so, so much. And with that, folks, that does conclude the—
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. 1 second.
What
A
would you—
big thanks to everybody at Visions Art Museum for making this happen. Thank you for the artists. Thank you for the curators.
Thank you to everybody involved and all of our volunteers who helped put the art on the walls. And yes, thank you so much, Sandra, for saying a few words about that. Thank you. One of the co-curators of the Deeds Not Words exhibition here for you folks. And Sandra, I believe we'll be able to see you in June for a special curators talk. So we can all look forward to that.
We'll
June
see you
7th.
then.
Yep. Laura will, after, I'll go ahead and I'm going to play the our small attempt at putting together a short virtual tour. I will go ahead and play that now if anyone wants to stick around and watch it. Afterwards, Laura will say a couple of words and close. Otherwise, that does conclude the beautiful cello concert portion of our opening. If you do not wish to stick around and watch the video tour, but would like to check it out later, it is on our YouTube channel. It is on our website. And I will go ahead and play that now and apologize to everyone because, as usual, with all of our virtual tours, this was filmed on my cell phone. Visions Art Museum is pleased to bring 3 new exhibitions to our galleries in Liberty Station. The following exhibitions will be open to the public April 17th through July 3rd, 2021. We hope to welcome you soon. On view in our Del Thomas Gallery is Deeds Not Words. The exhibition celebrates 100 years of women's suffrage with a collection of 28 quilts by 29 artists. Curators Pamela Weeks and Sandra Sider organized this exhibition by inviting influential artists from across the United States to contribute a quilt. Each quilt was created specifically for this exhibition. The only exception to this being the 1995 work by Adrian Yorinks, Resistance to Tyranny is Obedience to God, which was created 25 years ago in celebration of the 75th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. Her piece is anchored by the words of the Declaration of Sentiments by Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Modeled on the Declaration of Independence, the document describes women's grievances and commands for equality as U.S. citizens. The Deeds Not Words exhibition takes its title from the motto coined by the British suffragist Emmeline Pankhurst in 1903 to highlight the need to take action against the discrimination and disenfranchisement of women. The interactive piece by John Levelhotz incorporates the deeds, not words, of the viewer by responding to the viewer's position relative to the artwork via backlighting. This use of light reflects the hesitation to act in preventing achievements and fulfillments, as in a quote by Elizabeth Cady Stanton. The moment we begin to fear the opinions of others and hesitate to tell the truth that is in us, and from motives of policy are silent when we should speak, the divine floods of light and life no longer flow into our souls. most artists chose to focus on specific individuals or groups in their artwork. Some selected well-known leaders in the fight for women's rights, while others highlighted the movement's unsung heroes. Amelia Bloomer is depicted in the white, gold, and purple of the suffragists by Robin Schwalb. Bloomer is so famous for her advocacy for reform in women's clothing that the garment she often sported is known by her name. Alice Beasley's quilt honors Ida B. Wells, a journalist and civil rights activist who refused to march in a rear section for all Black delegates, instead stepping into the front of a march with a white Chicago delegation. The quilt points to the complex journey of women's suffrage, entwined with the civil rights movement and struggling with embedded racism. Arturo Alonso Sandoval shines a light on the many Black suffragists whose history went often unrecorded due to racism on the part of the leading white suffragists. Shin-Hee Chin portrays the Grimke sisters, Angelina and Sarah, considered the first American female advocates of abolition and women's rights. The ovular shape represents both an egg as the origin of new life and marks the social and cultural restrictions on females during their time. The gradient of color symbolizes the slow process in securing freedom and equality for women. Sandy Curran honors the everywoman. She reminds us of the sacrifice and bravery of so many nameless women in the fight for the right to vote. A woman sits imprisoned behind bars, the glass in front of her shattered by those trying to free her. The artist appeals to us to honor her by never taking our hard-earned rights for granted. While some focused on individuals, other artists in the exhibition commemorated specific events or assessed the movement as a whole. Suffragists used the centennial of the Boston Tea Party in 1873 as an opportunity to demonstrate, echoing the protest against taxation without representation. Teresa Barkley's work depicts tea crates floating from Boston through 5 bands representing 4 states and Washington, D.C., to the Capitol, where they have transformed into a ballot box. Gaskin's quilt visualizes the journey of women's suffrage as a highway. Our driver traveling from the dark past to a brighter future along a winding and difficult road. The path encompasses not just the rights for women to vote, but for African Americans and Native Americans as well. Each marker names a past legislation in a font reflecting the style of the period. Although many milestones have been passed, we are far from reaching equality, so our driver continues. Threaded Canopy is the solo exhibition from Hillary Waters Fayle. Her work expresses the relationship between the land and our own inner landscapes by bringing, quote, together materials and processes that express the union of humanity and the physical world. For Fayle, the patterns, colors, and shapes of flora are irresistible both for their visual grace and the metaphors they offer. Plant life speaks of the excitement of new growth, the blooming and fullness of maturity, the withering of beauty, and eventuality of death. As an artist, Fayle is particularly struck by the geometry inherent in the botanical world, especially the ways in which geometric forms overlay one another. This is evident in her use of 2 fundamental shapes, circles and squares. As Fayle notes, these simple shapes are the basis for many of the complex patterns found in sacred geometry, architecture, nature, and coincidentally quilt designs. The circled square is philosophically and spiritually symbolic, representing, among many other things, the elements and limitations of the physical world contained within the expansive, infinite universe. The balance between earth and sky, body and soul, the rational and the profound. Jill Kerttula brings us along as she interprets fleeting moments in everyday life in her solo exhibition, Urban Voyeur. A photographer and a textile artist, Jill starts with her original street photography. The nighttime images with their bright lights and reflections, contrasting deep shadows and silhouettes, shape the composition, color, and subjects of her work. The people in these pieces are not there to be identified, but rather they portray all of us in those times when only we know where we are going, who we are expecting, or why we are there, the private and simple wonder of our everyday life. Over fabrics printed with her photograph, the artist stitches, layers, patches, and slashes to enhance details and bring life to the static image. My photos are what I saw, says Kerttula. My stitching changes it to how, as an artist, I see it. Her Sidewalk series celebrates the artist's attention to detail and encourages the viewer to consider their own landscapes. In a sidewalk, Kerttula sees not only the textures and colors in front of her, but clues to the story of the night before, or the plight of a tenacious weed struggling to grow in the cracks. As the viewer makes their way through the gallery, enjoying the delicious details of Kerttula's stitching, added yarns, and slashed fabrics, we are invited to see ourselves in these moments, and to approach each moment with a renewed sense of observation. We hope you have enjoyed this short tour of the exhibitions now on view at Visions Art Museum. Please visit our website to check the latest information on opening hours, to view the online galleries, to become a member, or to donate. visionsartmuseum.org. All right, back to you, Laura.
Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. And thank you to all of you for sharing this last hour with us. It's been an absolute delight for us as Visions Art Museum, and it's been great to see all of your faces online. And we hope we'll see you physically at the museum soon. Wonderful. Stay healthy and have a great rest of the day.